I moved to Yakima about 6 months ago. Every day since then, I've laid eyes on Mount Adams and wanted nothing more than to go up to the top of it. In May 2014, I gave it a shot.
'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got friends in low places.
That's James. We went to high school together, but lost touch until I got him hooked on bouldering about a year ago. Out of all the friends I tried to finagle into doing this with me, he was the only one that stuck. I'm the girl in the back. Despite losing 140 pounds over the last few years, I'm still pretty damn fat. I'd never climbed a mountain, I'd never camped in the snow, but I wanted to do something crazy just to say I could. James, on the other hand...
I'm an idiot, fool, easily talked into things, caved to peer pressure. Somebody says go climb a mountain and here I am.
We set off in spring, a little early for mountaineering perhaps, but it had been a hot year so far. The forest road leading to the trailhead was blocked by ice, so we had to park about 2 miles away and hike the road. Unfortunately, James's rental boots weren't agreeing with him.
Let's take a little break, taping up some blisters that are starting. It's too early for blisters. Rental shoes, no good.
While James was taping up his feet, I went ahead like the amateur cinematographer I am and set up another walking shot.
What's the difference between me and you? Me and you? Me and you? What's the difference between me and you? Me and you?
Oh, hit some snow on the logging road. Still got the mountain looming before us.
As we got further and further, the snow on the ground got thicker and thicker. Eventually we started to make some bad decisions, and instead of doing the smart thing and backtracking, we just pressed on assuming we knew what we were doing. The result was to be expected.
Pretty sure the trail is.
We don't know where the trail is,
Did feel a little lost.
so we've lost our trail.
We'll hit that trail.
Took the wrong route.
We lost the trail.
So with some ugly looking clouds rolling in and way too many hours of trudging behind us, we moved to set up camp using some trees as a windbreak. We tucked in for a long night of unbelievably strong winds, heavy hail, and freezing cold.
Well, we woke up. We're pretty miserable. We're totally fogged in. Don't really know where we are. It's hailing. It fucking sucks. Last night was awful. My tent slid all over the place, so put all the gear in mine and I had a room over there. It's small. But it was warm. Now we're gonna pack up and get the fuck off this goddamn mountain.
And get the fuck off we did, with a little bit of help from our post-hole footprints and a phone call to a workmate to help navigate us since our map got ruined by the snow. Over lunch that day, I mentioned how, even without the summit, that I had a ton of fun. James, on the other hand, said he'd never wanted to do anything like it again. Come July, he'd changed his mind. Neither of us is the kind to leave something undone, so we went back. With the knowledge of our previous attempt, we came a little bit more prepared.
We did some gear things differently this time. What changes did you make?
The biggest change is hanging off my right shoulder here. And that's a proper map that's actually laminated so it doesn't get ruined in the snow on the first night. Only night. To supplement our camera footage, picked up a GoPro. Picked up a proper leash for my axe instead of using paracord. We've got a Garmin GPS here. which is going to make sure we don't go off trail like we did last time. Basically, we're cheating. Between the cheating and the sky of infinite visibility, we did pretty well. We were feeling much more optimistic, even though James hadn't learned from his last stint with the rental boots.
Almost fell off my perch.
With the only clouds in the sky being the ones floating over the top of the mountain, we made good time until we started reaching the steep stuff.
Making our way up this very, very steep snow hillside. Oh! I can't pan around without losing my balance, so I'm just gonna show you Becca climbing. This is the process. A couple steps, take a break. Couple steps, take a break. It's very hard work.
That steep stuff killed me. I hit a wall and I had a mix of emotions because of it. The worst was the in-my-face evidence that despite being in the best shape of my life, I'm still in terrible shape. I cried a little bit, face down in the snow, trying to cool myself off from the unexpected mountain heat. I was ready to quit. At that point, our method was walk 100 feet, rest, repeat, and it was slow because of it. After the next hill, we were both pooped.
Well, we found a pretty cool flat spot. Has these big windbreaks built up all around. So we decided to set up camp. We were planning to head up right up over that hill. There. Actually, you can see this. These guys aren't gonna go up where they were, about 1,000 feet higher, but we're just wiped out. So we set up. This is my little camp setup deal. I set up my bivvy and it worked pretty good, but it's just too fucking hot. Sun beating right down on me, so I threw my tarp up.
With camp set up, the heat hit us surprisingly hard. Our shelters turned into saunas and we were both sleeping basically naked.
Well, I'm in my bivvy. There's not a lot of space, but it's warm. I mean, I got some space. I can kind of reach around. You know, I got some range of motion here, but it's really fucking hot. There's just not enough air circulating through. And the sun is just beating down on us. This, I don't know if I like doing it this schedule. I don't know. Ooh, breeze. Ah, that's nice. Yeah, well, I'm gonna kind of try and sleep here, but I don't think that's gonna work too well for me.
It actually worked pretty well. As night came, it went from burning hot to freezing cold, but we both got a good 9 hours of sleep, to the point that I'd actually hit the snooze button on my alarm clock 4 or 5 times. We woke up at 1 a.m. and started prepping for our Alpine start on the summit. We were both feeling pretty good, better than we did the last trip for sure. While it was impossible to catch on film, the view at night was incredible. More stars than I'd ever seen in my life, little stretches of the Milky Way visible beyond them, a glow off to the west from Portland, and great electric views of Hood River and the Dalles. The moon was bright, incredibly so from our perspective, if not from the cameras. We set off optimistically. 2 hills later, that optimism was gone. So we've climbed 150 feet at this point from camp. And I mean, it's not difficult. The crampons are doing their job. We're not slipping. We're just not ready. We've sat here for a bit, talked about it. It's been a good trip. And I think our plan, neither of us wants to give up. But I think the plan is to lose some weight, build some muscle, and come back next June. When daylight came, we packed up and were set to go home. And despite another attempt without a summit, the way down from this altitude made it all worth it. Because while high places may be the goal we strive to meet, it doesn't mean that going back down to low places isn't goddamn fun.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show, I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. And I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got friends in low places.